The sea was not supposed to stretch that far. That's what our orbital maps had told us. The satellite scans of Diraxis 4 registered this part of the planet as barren ocean, nothing but storm-churned water. No islands, no structures, just angry blue-gray waves slapping endlessly at each other beneath thick, rolling cloud. So when my skimmer picked up a magnetic anomaly, then hit resistance and finally crashed onto what looked suspiciously like dry land, I realized either my instruments were faulty or something wanted to stay hidden. My name's Commander Elijah Crane, former naval scout of the Terran expansion fleet. I'd been on solo recon since my squadron was shot down a month prior. Diraxis 4 was a dead-end outpost, just a blip in the expansion logs. Rumors said it was cursed. Something about the last survey team vanishing mid-transmission. But HQ doesn't believe in curses, so they sent me. I didn't believe in them either. Until I met her. The island was ringed with black stone and coral-like claws curled from the sea itself. My skimmer, already damaged, slammed into a reef and skidded across an inlet, kicking up white spray and seafoam. I bailed as it crunched to a halt, coughing up seawater, crawling through coarse violet sand until I collapsed on my back, staring at a sky that looked too close, too heavy. I almost missed the shape in the distance. Half shrouded by mist and trees that didn't belong to any database, was a tower, part stone, part metal, rising crookedly from the jungle canopy. Not on the maps, I muttered. Dragging my bag of supplies and my pulse rifle, I limped toward it. The trek took hours. Everything about the island felt off. Gravity a touch heavier, the light a little too green, and the air thick with a scent of iron and citrus. I reached the edge of the tree line just as the sun, if you could call it that, began to dip below the haze. That's when I saw her. She stood barefoot in the clearing. Pale lavender skin shimmered beneath the fading light, long hair like braided strands of silver flowing down her back. She wore what looked like ceremonial armor, tarnished, dented, ancient. In one hand she held a broken spear. In the other, a stone that pulsed faintly. She didn't flinch when she saw me, just stared. "Human," she said, the word thick with an accent I didn't recognize. I raised my hand slowly. "I mean no harm. My ship crashed. I wasn't expecting anyone here." She tilted her head. "They sent you too. That caught me off guard." "Who?" "Your kind. The others." I lowered my hands. "I'm alone. My crew's dead." A long silence passed between us. The jungle hushed, the trees still, like the island itself was listening. Finally she turned and beckoned. "Then you are a ghost like me. Come." Her name was Saria. She led me into the tower, or what remained of it. Inside were murals, decayed tech, and symbols that pulsed when you looked at them too long. I couldn't decipher them, but she could. She traced each one with reverent fingers as we passed. "This place is sacred," she said, or was. "Once, we gathered here to speak across stars. Now, even stars do not answer." She gave me water. Real water. Not filtered or recycled, but drawn from an underground spring. It was cold, clean, and tasted like the memories of places I'd never been. We sat by a fire that night. She did not ask my story, but she told hers. She was not of any species known to the Terran catalogs. Her people were the Ilari, a race once part of the Celestial Accord, exiled for reasons she refused to speak of. Saria had been a warrior priestess, bound to protect the secrets of the Isle. Then something happened. Betrayal. An order passed from the Accord, perhaps even from the Ilari High clade themselves. They abandoned her here. "They called it necessary," she said, eyes distant. "Said I was compromised. That I had seen too much." I didn't ask more. I saw the way her hands shook when she remembered. Days passed. Then a week. We fixed my transmitter using scraps from her ancient tech and parts salvaged from my skimmer. She had knowledge far beyond what I expected, splicing wires with light, repairing circuits with thoughts channeled through crystal matrices. But she never tried to call for help. Never asked to leave. One night, as we watched the stars emerge in clusters unfamiliar to me, I asked her why. "I am cursed," she said simply. "My kind believe the Isle is infected with madness. Anyone who leaves carries it." "You don't seem mad to me," I said. She smiled barely. "Not yet." I began to believe she was right, about the madness. The island whispered. When I slept, I dreamed of places I'd never known. Cities made of sound. Creatures of living glass. The sea sang to me. And when I woke, Saria would be sitting nearby, humming a tune that didn't belong to any world I knew. "Are you doing this?" he asked once. She looked away. "The Isle is alive. I am its vessel." That night, lightning struck the tower. For a heartbeat, I saw a shape in the sky, vast, coiled like a god watching from beyond time. Then it was gone. I couldn't sleep after that. On the 10th day, the Terran beacon pinged. The signal was weak but real. They were coming. A rescue ship would arrive in 2 rotations. I told Saria. She didn't respond. Just sat by the old stone altar in the center of the chamber, tracing runes I couldn't see. "You can leave with me," I offered. "You don't have to stay here." She didn't look up. "If I leave, they will destroy this place." "Who?" "Everyone. Your people. The Accord. They fear what is buried here. That's why they left me behind, to guard it. Or to die with it. Then come. We'll tell them there's nothing here." She turned her eyes on me, glowing, ancient, heavy with something more than sadness. "You would lie for me, human?" "Yes." "Why?" I hesitated. "Because no one deserves to be forsaken. Not for loyalty. Not for knowledge. Not for duty." She studied me. Then for the first time she smiled, truly smiled. The next day the storm came. Not a normal one. This was alive. The sky cracked open with voices. Not thunder voices. Whispering, howling, pleading. The sea surged around the isle, forming walls that held position like sentinels. Lightning carved runes into the clouds. I found Saria kneeling before the altar, hands raised, eyes wide with energy pulsing through her veins. "What are you doing?" I yelled over the chaos. "Buying us time," she gasped. "The Isle must not fall. They come now. They seek to erase." A bolt struck the ground near us. The earth shook. Above, descending from the sky, was not the Terran rescue craft, but something else. Bleak, black, etched in golden lines. Ilari warship. I lifted my rifle. "They found you." "No," her voice was hollow. "They always knew." What happened next was madness. The ship opened fire on the tower. Saria threw up a shield of pure light, a dome that absorbed the plasma blasts and sang with pain. I fired on their drones as they descended, human tech nearly useless against their energy-wrapped forms. I saw Saria bleeding, silver from her nose, her arms, her eyes, but she didn't stop. "They want the core," she shouted. "What core?" She slammed her hand against the altar. The ground split, revealing a crystal heart, pulsing, alive, older than anything I'd seen. The Isle trembled as if gasping. "They want to erase it," she said. "Rewrite history. Bury the truth. Then let's stop them." She looked at me. "If you take the core, they will hunt you. I've been hunted before."